Hello, this is Greg Allison Green Griggs coming to you live on 13 July 22. Time on deck is 3,800 hours Central Daylight Time. My friends, I'm here tonight to talk to you about a very somber topic, how Russia could win a nuclear war and how they could take Alaska. Yeah, they could actually take Alaska on paper. And you're going to see, what do you mean by that, Greg? Well, you got to stay tuned. I'm going to talk you through that. Now, we are live tonight, so we do have a live chat room. So I will come back and check the chat session in a bit. So, and I'm going to let for people to kind of come in here a little bit too. So I'll make sure to stay up with everyone. But guys, this is a rather engaging topic because a nuclear war is something that we don't want to fight, but we may have done blown it. We may not have a choice now. It may be coming. That's a possibility. Let's hope that's not the case. But we're going to talk about it, why it might be in Russia's strategic interest to hit us, and why a first strike is how they only hope they've got to win it. Well, supposedly. We're not going to do a first strike on them. And we have Stacy Zavicki here from Sustainable Stewards. Glad to see you here, Stacy. And Wise Al's here. Very good. Yeah, you can't sleep. I understand that. I can believe you can't sleep. That's very hard after what you revealed to us today. Guys, Stacy shook me up rather hard today. And if you haven't seen already, you need to go back and watch the video I did with her, just a previous video on this channel. So Stacy had something happen in her life today that validated a waypoint, a time marker, and a vision she had that she enunciated and explained 2 years and 2 days ago, 2 years and 2 months ago to this day. I had Stacy Zavicki on my channel, 13 May 2020, 2 years and 2 months ago to this day. And guess what? She told us about a vision she had of a nuclear type EMP attack. It's EMPs, it's high atmosphere, on America that would take out our power grid from Venezuela. And she had some time markers in this video. One of them had to do with she was in the Saturn car, but it really meant something to do with the conjunction of Saturn, which we not too long ago saw. And the other, the final time marker, had to do with her bartering to get a Ford tractor. Well, she just kind of stepped into that today because this is the day she actually bartered to get a Ford tractor. She's been wanting a tractor for a long time. Bartering for a tractor is just not something you do. And it's just fell in her lap today. And it just so happened the tractor was a Ford, just like she dreamed. An older Ford that can survive an EMP. Randy, how you doing? I see Wise Al, Tammy Shirt, good to see you. Cuban nurse prepper, very good. Marie here praying, can't sleep either. Yeah, we got to do some praying, guys. Bicycle rider, I saw you a little bit early on Rex. Yeah, you were in there with the Rex show that we did live on eliteproject.com. Guys, I just did a video here when Elite Project did a video, and I've come back here to do another live session. So this is Lee Bell. Talking with Green Lance, very good. So the Great War is upon us. It's looking like it might be, guys. It's looking like it might be. So I really highly encourage you guys to check out the video I did earlier and check out, by all means, do that. Do go watch that video, the one I did with Stacy Savicki, my earlier video. And maybe mods, you can put that in the links. If y'all could, I would appreciate that. Let me look here. I'm going to share a bunch of things with you guys today. We're about to walk through a bunch of stuff. And you know what? That might be one of the things I will share something here. Hang on a minute. I'll do a share screen. Bada bing, bada bang. Give me a second here. This is the video from 2 years and 2 months ago to this day. And this is where she told us about that Ford tractor bartering, which just happened today. Wow, talk about uncanny. but 2 years and 2 months, 2-2. The thing that struck me is 2-2 has angelic meaning. Your guardian angel is indicating that you are on the verge of attaining a spiritual understanding in a higher caliber than before. Guys, this is like a warning, guys. Serious warning. And just so happens, fitting right in with her dream, guess what? Iran, Russia, and China to conduct joint drills in Venezuela with 10 other countries. Yeah, I believe North Korea is involved in this too, guys. And these are all countries that could do to us what she saw in her vision. It may be in their interest to do this. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second. So I'm going to stop this year for a minute. We'll come back to this stuff in a moment. But what I want to go to next is Alaska. What I warned y'all about a minute ago is that Russia could take Alaska. And you said, Greg, that's crazy talk. I said, on paper. Now I'm going to explain that on paper business in a minute. So I got that screen share. So let's do another share. Bing, 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 bing. And we got in room now 66. Okay, very good. All righty. So here it is. This is Alaska, the Great Land, as it's known. When I lived in Alaska, right about here, where my hand is, Alaska was divided into 4 time zones. Because Alaska, the very tip of it is right here. That is Attu Island. The Japanese invaded that island in World War II. The only land in America that was actually invaded by Japan was Alaska. They invaded 2 of these islands, and we conducted the 1,000-mile war to take those islands back. And it's basically 1,000 miles here, maybe more than 1,000. Alaska is huge, huge. When I was in Alaska, Alaskans used to make jokes about Texas. They used to say, well, Alaska's going to split in half, and Texas will be the 3rd largest state. Well, actually, Alaska is bigger than Texas, California, and Montana put together, or bigger than 2 Texases. So the state capital is way down here, and this is the bulk of the land masses in Alaska. Most of the people in Alaska live right here, or actually right here, Anchorage. They're all in Anchorage, just about it. So, guys, Alaska is huge. So let's zoom in and look at a few of the features. Anchorage is right here. This is where over half of the people, there is Valdez over here. Over half the people live in Anchorage. Here's where your big Kodiak bears are on Kodiak Island. Guys, and Alaska, this is Alaska. This is Alaska Island right here. St. Lawrence Island. And here is Big Diomede and Little Diomede. One is Russia and one is Alaska. This is United States, Alaska. This is Russia. And to give you an idea of the distance. So if I click, say from here, try to draw a straight line to here. That's 2.34 miles. So guys, less than 2.5 miles, about 2 1/3 miles from Alaska to Russia. This is the one place in America where you can stand and look directly at Russia. Now, the United States bought and paid for Alaska from Russia. Russia wanted to use the proceeds to fight against Japan. They needed money. They sold, and Alaska was a little bit too far away from them to maintain. Their empire was too far flung. So they were kind of happy to make the sale. They sold it. Well, now Russia's are claiming because of the sanctions we put upon them and the costs we've put upon them that they should have the right to take Alaska back. Never mind, Alaska's worth a lot more today than it was then, considerably more. And never mind several other things. Russia would want to take Alaska back. Well, could they force the United States to give it up? Well, maybe. Just maybe. on paper. Greg, why do you keep saying on paper? Hang on, you'll find out. That's going to be one of the last things we cover here. Why on paper? Cha-Cha, how you doing? New Days is in here. Good. Randy Atlanta, good to see you. Yeah, this is scary. Let's see. Taz Haswell, Lady Open Scrub. It's all getting away from you guys are saying a lot of stuff. Let's see. Oh, Madam McGross from Boogertown, Tennessee. Very good. Kodiak is for big bears. No kidding. Those are some big bears. The biggest brown bears. Polar bears in the north are the biggest bears, though. Those bears are all huge. Thank you, New Days, for sharing the EMP attack vision video. So, we're going to stop, but hang on. I lived 2 years in Alaska. I adapted to it kind of like a fish to water and nearly died when I came back to my homeland in Alabama. Heat exhaustion, almost heat stroke. Delta Junction. Yeah, the building I used to live in is no longer there. Well, not the main building anyway. These are some of the housing units. Most of them have been torn down. They try to close this base. You see there used to be, here's some housing units. There used to be some right here. That building wasn't there. Those woods went all the way up to here. And I lived right here. I lived there. That wasn't there. And there's a nuclear power plant. Let's see. That's the reactor building. What was the base nuclear power plant? And my buddy Ed Cocker used to work in this building, and I worked. We'd walk in that door right there. I worked right over here. That's where I worked. I used to walk to work because it'd take longer to crank a vehicle and get it warmed up enough to drive it over there than it would to walk. And this is the new missile base. This figures into what we're talking about because this is a strategic target. We don't have enough interceptors to cover a Soviet attack upon America, a Russian attack upon America. Yeah, we got these GBI ground-based interceptors, and we got Aegis ashore and Aegis at sea, but there's not nearly enough to absorb an attack from Russia. Nowhere close to it. We wouldn't hardly make a dent in what they could throw at us. So I don't know why they're so obsessed with being able to evade our stuff. They got better missile defense than we have, probably with the S-500 missile systems all over Russia, S-400s. But that's another story. So let's get into it. I'm going to stop this share. We'll come back to Alaska shortly. Delta Junction, big city. It's a junction because two roads come together there, the Alaska Highway and the Richardson Highway. I used to have friends that live back off here in the middle of nowhere. But I think that's the road. Back here in the woods. Anyway, wild willow bed and breakfast. Yeah, this area has built up a lot since I left there. More houses. Anyway, back in the day, there weren't but 2,000 people in a mile, a circle of a mile. And there was no red light for 100 miles. And that's not a coastline, that's the river basin. I'll stop this share. So let me explain. Now we got 112 people in the room. Let me explain what I'm talking about, guys. Here's the scenario. If Russia wanted to defeat the United States, here's what they would do. An EMP attack on America. What would that do? It would destroy our power grid. And the EMP super weapons are 4 times more powerful than most of our military facilities were originally hardened to, the original military hardening spec. I don't know if we can harden fully to the EMP super weapon level. Yeah, Peter Pry, yeah, I just missed it. Peter Pry had some discussion today about some new Soviet weapon, Russian weapon. Let's hope they haven't come up with a bigger EMP super weapon, more powerful one. I'll find out soon enough. He had meeting of just the few of the executive committee members of the EMP Task Force on National Homeland Security. I'm an Alabama State Director, but I was not in that meeting, although we had a meeting today that I was in. Gentlemen, ladies, if they hit us with an EMP attack, people say, oh, we'll just shoot them back with our nukes. Well, no. There's two things you got to understand. One, our nuclear forces require a validated EAM. That's the emergency action message, the alert that tells them to launch. They have to get the message and they got to get the validation. These comm systems are probably not hardened enough to be able to activate that, especially out to sea with the submarines out at sea. So we're dead in the water. If our grid's down, 9 out of 10 Americans, according to the EMP Task Force of National Homeland Security, according to the Congressional EMP Task Force, it's predated that, 9 out of 10 people would die within a year due to societal collapse. And I have pointed out to them that that was an optimistic number, because most farmers don't actually grow enough food to feed themselves or grow in market food like their crops. You don't have all the gardens you used to have. I've done a video where I was going through and surveying all these farms, driving down the road, pointing out all the ones that didn't have gardens. And I drive for a long way before I'd find one that did. And I validated that by looking down from Google Earth. It's shocking, really shocking how many people don't have gardens, how many people can't grow food. And the ones that are just got little gardens quite often. They're not growing the food to feed themselves. Yeah, and all these seeds for the field crops, when the grid goes down, the tractors aren't going to run because you can't get fuel for them, can't get the chemicals. Most of the seeds are now coming from Bayer, Monsanto, whatever, because they're under contract. Since it's GMO, you can't replant your own seeds. You have to buy new seeds every year. They're hybrid seeds anyway. So we got a mess here, guys. The farmers aren't going to have the seeds or the way to plant them. The grid goes down. It's going to be awful. The solution is to have your own seeds and offer the farmers, hey, I'll sharecrop your land and give you half if you'll just let me farm it. That's how sharecropping used to work. And if you got the seeds and the tools, you might be able to make that work again. It won't be what they grew. It'd be more edible stuff, vegetables and stuff. Buy seeds, save them. The kind of stuff that you think would be of use. If you want to do that, then you can be in the sharecropping business. These farmers aren't going to be able to use this land. They're going to be starving too. They'll be happy to see an opportunity like that. All right. All that said, you got to be in the right place too, because there's going to be radiation problems when the grid goes down. Here's the other thing that's going to come with it. The first strike from Russia. I said, we'll launch our stuff. No. Under Bill Clinton, I remember when this happened, Bill Clinton made the decision that we would fully absorb the first strike and then launch after to take out their stuff, what's left, their cities, basically, command and control military. We would fully absorb the first strike. That's insane, because it would probably take out all our ground-based missiles. So why do we even have them? Just to be targets? That's awful, because where they hit those, the Russians probably target 2 to 3. They say 3 warheads per every silo, because they want to make sure they take out every missile we got. And in case they miss or stuff don't work, they don't want to take out 3. Oh yeah, they built these missiles long before their chip sanctions were in place. So they want to target 3 per every silo. We got 400 of these missile silos in the United States. In Colorado, Minot Air Force Base, in North Dakota, places like that, Montana. These bases basically have 2 missiles, 3 bases with the Minuteman missile, and they have 2 fills per base. And the kind of explosion that makes the biggest radiation are ground bursts. Each one of these would be ground bursts. They would try to penetrate and also take out probably Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado, which controls NORAD. So Colorado would get hit hard. And then this is the kind of burst that produces fallout. Because from this, all this ash is going to, or the soot and dirt's going to rise up in the nuclear fireball, be highly radiated, and it's going to fall out as the wind blows downstream for miles and miles. So Kansas will be in trouble where we grow all the wheat. And also eastern Colorado, huge wheat growing area. Those plains, eastern Colorado, Kansas, especially western Kansas, those would be the ones heavily radiated. And Midwest, from all you have heavy radiation in the Midwest, the northern tier of the United States up there, up to Chicago, and maybe beyond, maybe into Ohio. Depends on how the winds blow. Yeah, heavily radiated areas and fallout. Now the good news is most of that fallout will be gone in a couple of weeks. What happens after that? The nuclear power plants. I've talked that with Rex. I've talked that before on this show. Spent fuel rods. I can do a topic on that again. I think I may have a guest coming on to talk about that soon. But guys, this is what we're looking at. It ain't pretty. But here's what would happen. All the thing we'd probably have left are bombers, which would get hit. Our submarines at port would get hit. The only thing we would have that wouldn't be hit would be the submarines at sea. 3 or 4 operational submarines we got, so about 4 probably. But we won't be able to communicate with them. What do you do? Russia has massive cities built in mountains. They can house like 60,000 people in a couple of places or more. Some sources say a lot more. Moscow, if you go into Moscow, probably the same in St. Petersburg, the subway system is 400 feet underground. It's the deepest subway system in the world. And they got blast doors for nuclear survival. And I've been in those subways. It's beautiful. They got beautiful artwork in them. Wow, you got to go down deep to ride around in those subways. But they said they got all kind of offshoot tunnels that you don't see from those subways. And Russia just didn't exercise, but the people in Moscow in the bunker. We don't have that kind of defense here in America. We don't have defense looking to save our population like Russians. They have fallout shelters for cows, for Pete's sake. Chickens. We don't have anything like that. We got some bunkers for the elite. But if you ain't got your ticket, you ain't going, and I don't have a ticket to it. I might be a rocket scientist, but I don't have a ticket to the underground bunker because I'm not in their club. So go figure that, guys. So here's what we're talking about. Russia can hold America for blackmail. Even if we could communicate with those subs at this point, once they've taken out most of our missiles and put our grid at failure. So when our grid's at failure, our troops out in the fields in Europe and other places, we're going to be wanting to bring them home because suddenly the top priority in the United States is going to be to save the American people. Try to get as much of the power grid regoing as possible, which is going to be like trying to fix Humpty Dumpty. Because these transformers that'll be fried take 18 months to get. If the system's working, if you got power and computers and money to order things, nobody's going to have any of that. It's all going to be gone. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to try to bring these troops back home, do anything they can to save or control the American people. The American people are going to be rioting and forming gangs and God knows what else. A lot of them will be. Warlords will probably be taking over. It's not going to be pretty because people will be starving to death. They'll be running out of food. There's going to be sickness, dysentery. People will be dying left and right. It will be a very ugly picture. This is one you need to prepare. Because the soldiers and the cops that should be protecting you, their first thing, like in Russia and other places, when people are going hungry, instead of protecting you, they're going to come to take what you got. So you better be able to hide your stuff. Now, like I've always said, it's important to can your foods and stuff like that. But glass jars, you're not going to bury. You're not going to bury tin cans because they'll rust out. But I do have, but hey, if you can't afford it, buy, like I said, buy as much beans and rice as you can. Macaroni, ramen noodles, they're cheap. But I got another alternative, which actually is a lot cheaper than it might sound to start with. This is it. You can get 2,000 calories a day, 3 months of this food, which is 6 of these buckets, $150 off. Stickers may look high, but it's only $3 a meal because you're getting 3 months. Go out buy 3 months of food in the grocery store and see what you pay. It'll be a lot more than you're going to pay if you go to prepwithgreg.com. Prepwithgreg.com. This stuff lasts 25 years. It's lightweight. You can bug out with it. Your kids can carry it. You can open it up, take those pouches and put it in your backpack, or you can bury this stuff. This is stuff that you can bury in a cat shed and hide. You can get a month's supply, a lot cheaper, and you get $50 off of that. Check it out if you can afford it. You need to store as much food as you can. Stacy just covered that in her video. If you are able to garden, Garden's tough, especially the first year. If you're not very experienced at it, you're going to fail a few times. Trust me, I know. Even if you had a few good years, as soon as the pest and the deer discover where your garden is, watch out. So there we are, guys. I'm going to show you some more websites, but here's what happens. Russia hits us with an EMP. One device could do the trick. They'll probably hit us with several. Stacy's vision is the most probable way that somebody would hit us because it'd be deniable. Who did it? If you come out from Venezuela, well, who did it? Could have been Venezuela. Because they got missiles. Maybe somebody sold them a nuke. It could be North Korea. It could be the country that gives them all these missiles, Iran. Iran's on the verge of making a nuke, and I always thought they had two from Kazakhstan. That was rumors I heard years ago. It could be China. It could be Russia. There's 5 candidates there, all of which have the incentive to hit us, especially then. Who did it? Who done it? It's him. It's him. Who do you retaliate against? But then if we get hit with the first strike, well, there's no guessing. If the next step is the first strike hit and taking out all our missiles, okay, we know who did it. Well, what are you going to do? Because then they're going to say, okay, Mr. President, you got one option. We're going to start taking out a major U.S. city every hour, or you're going to do what I tell you. First thing, take your troops out of Europe, leave NATO. Well, he'll probably already be thinking that because you want to bring his guys home to take care of the people here. He'll say, yes, sir. Second item, give me Alaska. Biden would probably say yes to stop the nukes. And he probably don't give a flip about Alaska anyway. Alaska is a red state. That's blue states. One less red state. Oh, he forced me. I had no choice. Then the country votes blue. Yeah, that's a win for Biden. Biden would, of course, be happy to hear that. Oh, yeah, I'll give it to you. So Alaska goes to Russia on paper. Hey, what do you mean by on paper? I'm going to get to that in a minute. On paper. Very important distinction. On paper. So hang on, guys. Buckle up, and I'll explain the on paper. And I'm going to check the messages here after I get through this little thing going through here. I'm going to check all the messages, guys. So just hang on. It's not over yet, guys. Also, I got a package I want to open from Brian Perrin. If he's in the chat room, I don't see him. Okay, I'll read some of these messages, and we'll get back and we'll have some good chat like we normally do on Wednesday nights. I don't want to be in there too late. But guys, here's the thing. I'm going to hit the share button again. Ding, 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 ding. Nuclear arsenal of Russia. Nuclear arsenal of Russia. Let me enunciate better. As of 2022, the Federation of American Scientists estimate that Russia possesses 5,977 nuke weapons, while the United States has 5,428. Less than 500. So it's got more than 500 more than we do, according to these estimates. Russia and the U.S. each have about 1,600 active deployed strategic nuclear warheads. Russia's stockpile is growing in size, while the United States is shrinking. Not too smart. So this is why Russia feels bold, why they think they can tell us, and Putin said that they can fight a nuclear war and win it. Putin said he would defeat the United States in a nuclear war. And he said it repeatedly as if he believes it. Maybe he does. In fact, I do think he does. But what he said and how he said it, I think he's serious. He believes they can fight and win a nuclear war. They got the bunkers we don't have. They could absorb some from us. But they've also got a lot more missile defense. They probably think they'd take them out, most of them. All right. Yeah, I want to come way over here. Bing. Let's look at some of the missiles. Everybody's hearing about the Satan II. Well, we've got one type of ICBM, the Minuteman missile. The Minuteman II, I believe. It's got one warhead per missile. They MIRV theirs. They put multiple warheads on their missiles. And this is the YARS 24, RS-24 YARS. And as you can see, It's mobile, which means we don't know where they're at. We don't go shooting these things. We don't even know where they're at. They're rolling around in the countryside, maybe going through the city. Where are they? How do we target these things? Because they're moving around. Here is, click on the page. Here's another missile, the R-36. This is a silo launch missile, which means it's a bit bigger missile, probably a little bit more range. But the other thing can reach the United States, they all got MIRV warhead capability. And the Sarmat 2 is also going to be a silo-based missile. Here is a UR-100N or the RS-18A. I think this is the Satan 1. 1975 to present. You can see it is still fielded. All right, and let's go look at some of their other weapons. This is getting into their super weapons, as Putin told us. This is their Avangard hypersonic glide vehicle. This one is one that they're launching from naval vessels. This is the one their Navy can launch. This is the one their Air Force can launch from the MiGs, MiG-31K. This is the Kinzel. They've used these against Ukraine. This is basically one of those, what do you call it? They're, I don't know the name of it. I'm getting brain lock right now. This is their, shoot, I don't know the name of this team from. This missile is derived from their, well, I got brain lock, seriously. Oh, well, it'll come to me later. This is a hypersonic glide missile. This is a nuclear-powered cruise missile that we call SSC X-9 Skyfall, basically, Skyfall, or Patrol. Named after that bird, I guess. This guy can fly forever, almost. Just fly around all over the globe before it finally comes in and targets you. It can fly crazy eights all over some ocean basin and then come out and get you. Because it's got a nuclear engine. This is a cruise missile with a nuclear engine. Well, you can see they've had some disasters with it. We started developing something like that way back in the 50s and abandoned it, or 60s, because we called it the flying crowbar. We thought it was too dangerous to develop because we didn't know what it was going to do after it did the test flight. You had to dispose of it somehow. This is the RS-28 Sarmat. This is the Satan 2. This is the one that's so powerful they can fly it over the South Pole and come after us. There's no picture of it here. That's odd. This is the one that they just fielded. And this guy can carry 10 to 15 MIRV warheads or Avangard's glide vehicles. Guess what, guys? I've heard some people quote a lot higher numbers for the payload capacity on these things. A lot more warheads. And here is that submarine I told you about, the Status 6, the Poseidon, that can carry the Sarbama 100 megaton nuclear bomb, which is twice as powerful as the most powerful, the half Sarbama if they set off. Guys, with a cobalt salted warhead that could kick up a tsunami 1,500 feet high, highly radioactive, that would sweep an entire coastline. Wow. This is a very formidable weapon, guys. Oops, did I stop share? Do that. Let's go back to share. All right. Those are the things they can throw at us. So they got plenty to hit us with. Plenty of weapon systems. We maintained that. And yeah, if they threw a first strike, how are we going to take out their missiles? The mobile ones will be the ones they don't launch at to start with. We're going to be playing chase the mobile missile with what few little weapons we got left. Yeah, right. You know, Russia's going to call the United States president and say, hey, surrender. And here's what I want from you. If you don't want me to nuke your cities, you're going to do what we tell you. And oh, yeah, by the way, you're a vassal state now. Give us Alaska. Pull out of Europe. Let us take Europe. The president will salute and say yes. He'll probably thankfully say yes when they ask about giving Alaska away. But let's go back and look at Alaska. Let's look at some of the things about it. It has a land area of 663 663,268 square miles. That's the total area. It's first size, no kidding. The length. Alaska is 1,420 miles long. The width, that's up and down, north and south. I don't know how they get length out. The width of Alaska is 2,261 miles, i.e., Alaska would stretch across the United States. That's why it had 4 time zones. The population of Alaska is 736,000 people. A lot of these people are already living off the grid. So if they have grid down, only the people in probably Anchorage are really going to suffer. Alaskans are some of the toughest people in the United States because living in Alaska, man, I did it again. It's hard to live in Alaska. Alaska is not just any place. It is tough. You got to be tough to live there. And so anybody from Alaska is going to be tough, which means they're going to be a hard soldier. Now, Alaska's got a pretty good demographic. It's not small at the bottom. It's about the same. You prefer, for some things, have a larger belt at the bottom. But Alaska's stable. But if you go here and think the whole population is 700,000, and you look at the male portion of the population, which is bigger than the female portion, and you take it, say, go to about, 19-year-old, 18, 19 right here, and look at everything running up to about 60, that's over half the population. There must be over 300,000 people in this. I would dare say, because Alaskans are tough, you could put a 200,000 man army together from the civilians in Alaska. I'll talk about that some more. Yeah, that's the Russian weapons. Oh, yeah, I got this. Oh, yeah, so I had Russian weapons stuff in there. Well, let's go back. I got ahead of myself there. Oh, yeah, that's that video with Stacy again. Let me stop the share. All right, so now we're just going to talk. 200,000 man army. See, the typical rule of thumb is if you're going to invade a place, you need 4 times as many invaders as there are in the country you're invading. If you outnumber them 4 to 1, you got a chance. The Union outnumbered the South 4 to 1, but it took them 4 years to take us. The war between the states, 4 years. So that says that Russia will need to take their entire military and throw it against Alaska. Their 800,000 man military. Not sure they're going to draft, blah, 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 blah. Russia's having problems finding fish, but they already got military engaged in Ukraine. They'll have military engaged in Europe. So can they throw 800 million men into Alaska? Go back to look at that a little bit. I don't think so because the logistics are tough. What Russia is good at is moving men and material where they got rail lines. They ain't got no rail lines into Alaska. Russia ain't no good at this. And they're not. And how they going to get all their ammo over there? How they going to load? They like to use artillery shells. Even in going into Ukraine, they're unloading that stuff by hand. That's why the Ukrainians are taking out their ammo dumpers. Ammo dumps. Now, dumpsters might be a better way. Here's what I know. When I lived in Alaska, I had a weapon in an arms race. When I went out and saw the civilians, they opened their foot lockers or closets, and they were brimming with all kinds of weapons. We didn't even have a weapon for everybody. Might even have 200 people. I think we had 50 M16s. When we went to field, because we didn't have enough weapons, men, full-grown men in the Army in Alaska, we picked up sticks and ran through the woods going bang, bang. I swear to God, it was funny. I thought, wow, I'm actually getting paid to play soldier as a soldier. I thought it was hilarious. There's nothing funnier than seeing a bunch of grown men in fatigues running through the woods with sticks or their hands going bang, bang. I swear to God. The American military is not going to protect Alaska. It will be the Alaskans, the militia of the people, as permitted by Amendment Number 5, which Moore wants to get rid of. Yeah, he's trying to create this 28th Amendment. We don't need that. That's goofy. Oh, yeah, that would be good for letting, let's see, China storm the United States. Kind of, yeah, if they can take up our guns before all this happens, China could just take the United States and Russia could have Alaska. Oh, yeah, sure. Maybe that's why they want to take up our arms to help the invasion. Buddy, Alaskans aren't going to give them up. They got to live with polar bears and brown bears and Kodiak bears and wolves and moose. The most dangerous animal in Alaska, what do you think that is? It's the moose. Moose kills more people than any other, so maybe mosquitoes. Oh my God, the mosquitoes are awful up there. Unbelievable. So guys, the Alaskans are going to be tough. Now let me show you. Let's go back here and look. It may be the only independent state in America. Alaska will survive. That's why I'm telling you that Russia may get Alaska on paper, but good luck taking it in reality. Alaska might just invade Russia then. Oh, yeah, you tried to do this to us? Yeah, okay, we want a chunk of Siberia. Let me tell you something. The Native Americans over in Siberia would help them because they hate the Russians. They hate the Russians. The Russians have mistreated them, discriminated against them. They would be happy to help. And so other native cultures in Siberia who've been subdued by Russians, they don't want to be part of Russia either. The Russian kingdom, or empire, might start to fall apart. And Alaskans might be just the ones to make it happen. So watch out, Russia. If you think you want Alaska, you're going to buy more than you can chew. Let me show you something here, guys. I'm going to show you we're going back to Google Earth, and we're going to look at Siberia. We're going to look at some military bases, maybe. See what we can find here. Let's zoom out. There's Alaska Range. Yeah, this is where Mount Hayes over here. That's where what's her name says that there's a big alien base, joint alien American military base. Not. We want that future. I'll explain why. If there was, I would absolutely know about it firsthand. I could really explain it. Let's see. Somewhere here, there's some bases. I saw them the other night looking around. Maybe this, maybe that. Let's go and see if we can find them here. There are some military bases in Siberia, close to Alaska. They got some jets, a few jets. Let's see. I think that other one was a base. There we go. See if we got an airfield. Stuff there. That's not it. I think it's this other one. I got a couple bases over here. There's a few fighter jets. Nothing spectacular. Here we go. There's an airfield. That was it. That's what I thought. I saw some jets on one of these airfields. This may not be it. There was another one further south. Like a dirt airfield. They jets. Got a helicopter. It's a Hindi helicopter. So you got a little military there. Not like anything to brag about. This looks more like a Cessna. So let me go in and see what this plane is. Scroll in. Might even be a plane. It's not a plane. What is that? Building. Or a marker. Okay. It's the only way they're getting people and stuff in and out of there is by air, guys. They ain't got a road going to this place. They got some local roads. Let's see. I bet it ain't a railroad. Russia don't move anything without railroads or ships. That road's closed off by ice. That's not a railroad. It's just a dirt road. Be more descriptive, a trail. Now, there ain't any railroads running up in here, guys. You get down to Camp Peninsula, maybe. Let me see if I can read correct. Let's check this bridge out. What's this bridge made out of? There's a rail line there. We'll see it on this bridge. Yeah, it's just a regular road. We got to go further. There's an air base up here somewhere. I saw it last night. We looked here. Guys, that's the wilderness up there. It's just Alaska's the same way. It's just a wilderness. There's no roads west of Fairbanks hardly. There's one road going up to Prudhoe Bay in the north, and that's only because of the oil fields, guys. Let's see, yeah. I saw a fishing area in one of these pictures. That's a little bitty village. I ain't got nothing there. So it's just a lot of these little bitty villages out here. If you're talking the tip of Siberia, yeah, there just ain't a lot of stuff up here. We come around and we'll find a base or two out here somewhere. But you don't find infrastructure. You don't find a lot of anything out here. This is howling wilderness. You put a road out here, if you pave the road, you make a straight road because of the permafrost. You come back a couple of years later, it's going to look like a snake. You might have paved it straight, but it's going to bend and twist every which way. So yeah, there's a lot of military down here on the Kamchatka Peninsula. You know, they shot down a civilian air flight from here one time. There's also a lot of volcanoes on here. But where's the rail line supplying all this stuff? There was a rail line. We'll find it right here, right? Where the land narrows down. River. There's no rail line. Oh, yeah, they didn't have any decent roads. Another river, nothing straight. Yeah. So they're servicing all this by air or by sea. It's just too rugged to put roads in. Land or sea. So what I'm telling you is that Russia runs everything by rail, and they're not even doing a good job of that. They got a rail line that comes down here, you know, cities that China's wanting to claim back from them down here. But yeah, they in terms of Vladivostok, let's type in Vladivostok. B-L-A-D. Yeah, there we go. Vladivostok. I'm sharing this. I'm actually sharing this. I hope I'm going to share. You know what? I don't know. Let me double check. No, I'm not in share. I'm not in share. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes that happens. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Brian, hey, Brian, there you are. I'm going to open this package in a minute. Hang on, Brian. I just see you here. Let's go to Vladivostok. Sorry, guys. What I was doing is I was looking all around Russia, and there was no infrastructure. This is their main naval base out here in this area on the western side, Vladivostok. Now, this is a fairly developed town. There's a harbor. There's a road. That's where a lot of their ships are. This is their main naval base in the Pacific, guys. China wants us back, by the way. This is why World War IV will be between Russia and China. Yeah, they got some kind of roads around this part and going back into probably even Russia, Mother Russia. The rail line, if there's a rail line, it's probably right here. Let's go in and look. Find a rail line. That looks like a highway, maybe a rail line there. It's a regular road, it's not a rail line. 4-lane road, wow. And an interchange, holy smoke. Out in a place like that, that's pretty fancy. Oh yeah, they got some roads down here. So, but they're going to be dealing with Japan. They got to get through Japan to get out to here from there. It's a long way from Alaska. But guys, that's the deal. Russia would have a hard time getting to Alaska. They got no rail lines. The ships may not find good harbor. The natives will be fighting them and everybody else. You're going to have a 200,000 man army in Alaska. And I just don't see how in the world Russia could take it. In fact, I'd expect Alaska just might go over and take a few of these provinces, maybe in Kamchatka. I could see the last, maybe because a lot of these people in these regions, they're conquered people. Now, the Russians have moved a lot of their people into these areas, but the natives, especially getting these big provinces out here, they don't want anything to do with Russia. They'd be happy to split away. Maybe all the way to here. Russia could keep this. This is Russian people right here. You get here in these big provinces, probably not. Oh, what happened? Anyway, stop share. There you go, guys. That's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry I missed having that on there a lot, but Alaska is huge. The people are fierce. They are, go invade a place like that. They're not going to do it. They know their land. They know how to navigate it better than anybody else. And they're experts with that land, that topography. It's like the back of their hand. And they're not going to stand the Russians coming in to mess with them. Guarantee you. Even if they like Russia, as many people in the States do, they still are not going. They're not going to take anybody coming in there and taking them away. Alaska will be their own nation. It might be the last independent state of the United States. So I'm going to tell you that. Even if somebody says, give up all the nuggets, Alaskans, oh no. Oh no, not going to happen. All right, I'll read the chat here. I just moved my little laptop over here to read the chat. Now, you know what I'm going to do before I do that? Because Brian said he was tired. I am going to open this package from Brian. Brian, you still here? Brian was in here a minute ago. Hello, Brian. Talk to us. Still here? I got a package from Brian for Randy. Yeah. Yes, you gave us a super chat in the last video. Come on, Brian. Tell us if you're here. Otherwise, I might wait on you. I'd wait to do this live. I'm going to do it when Brian was in the room. He wasn't in the room in our last chat, but he was here a minute ago. Still here, Brian? Maybe gone. Oh, well. We got 168 in the room and only 111 thumbs up. Well, I guess Brian's gone. He must have called in tonight. Sorry about that. I was hoping you'd hold that for a minute. All right, so I'm at the bottom of the chat now, so Brian's in there. He can pop up, but I'm about to scroll up to the top. Read y'all's messages. See what y'all been saying. All right, so we got Chitura Ogletree. I lived in Fairbanks in 2016, and the Russians were moving there in droves. A lot of Ukrainians in the part I was in. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, they're going to take it by force, I guarantee you that. Hey, thank you, North Shore. How you doing, North Shore? He says, smash it, folks. Yeah, thank you. We need the thumbs up, guys. All right, let's start. We got 170 room on 113 thumbs up. All right, let me go up the top of the chat here. Let's see what folks are saying. Lady Bell, talking to Taz. All right, you know what? There's probably chat that has scrolled past. Probably too late coming out. I'm probably missing the first messages. Taz says, Kathy, Greg's channel is getting real tonight. Absolutely. If your nation's invaded, folks, there's nothing you can do because it's God's judgment. Well, but God may not be judging you particularly, not to save the nation, but save your hide, save your family. Let's see. Well, nations that get invaded kick out the invaders a lot of times, though. So it isn't, the judgment isn't not always you cease to exist, but sometimes it is. But you're expected to fight for what you got. SD, there's an 80s movie with Dan Aykroyd and Steve Martin messing with one of them launchers. Oh yeah. Let's see. Brian. Keith Prepper, the Watchman, king of hard for people like me who are disabled. Yeah, disabled. Yeah, guys, when you get older, it gets harder. I understand that. Being 62. I used to run. There was a time I ran 12 miles every other day. And then I got plantar fasciitis, so I started riding a bike, and I ride a bike 20 miles every other day. And then I messed my knee up, so I just kind of quit all that, and I gained a bunch of weight. I watch these young preppers talking, oh, you better stay in shape. If you ain't in shape, blah, blah, blah. And there ain't no excuse for not being in shape. Well, when your joints all start messing up, they might show a picture of somebody running with no leg, but they got that prosthesis. Well, maybe if I chop my legs off and got a prosthesis, but when you're running on joints that are made of spit and tissue paper, it gets hard because you tear them up doing what they're telling you. Eventually, you tear your joints up running on them. But yeah, you do need to stay in shape if you can, if you're able. And once you get older, it gets to be a challenge. I understand that. You better figure it out. Thing with us older people, we might not be able to fight with brawn. We got to use our brains. The stakes are high and there's no one going back. Okay, the Watchman. Cha-Cha's giving. How you doing, Cha-Cha? Say, Brian, Keith Prepper, you going to buy my gas, my way out so I can leave the city? Well, good luck with that, Brian. Hey, I'm saying if you can get out of the city, you need to. Well, you got to have more than just gas to get out. You need to have a place to go to. You better work that out with somebody. Maybe you can make that arrangement with somebody, some big farmer who say, hey, just go to them in advance. Say, look, when it goes down, you're not going to be able to maintain this, but let me work with you if that happens. If you're friendly to them, make it, strike a friendship with some farmer, bang, you might have a good deal going. Might mean you need to just get in the neighborhood and do some networking. Someone I believe says our Minutemen still work. Yeah, right now, but not if we absorb a first strike, they'll all be gone. That's a Bill Clinton policy that never got reversed. I just recently learned. I was hoping it got reversed, but no. It's according to Joel Scales, and it's not been reversed, man. He's probably right about that. Kermit 432, that's one of them over Canada. Cha-Cha concerning that the UN had an article saying starvation is good for elites. Yeah, there you go. They did. Isn't that amazing? But they took that down, just like they took down the Guidestone, right? Maybe they don't want us to know certain things. They've decided it's time we're getting wise. Lady Bill, he pooed in his litter box today. You talking about a cat? Oh, you're talking about a cat. All right, you days talking with David. I don't know if the missiles or meteors. Just she had a dream. I mean, devastating as we were then invaded. Wow. Let me talk about that. Have you ever been to Nuga Harbor? I don't know. I hear there's sand dunes in Alaska, but I've not seen those. I've seen some sand dunes in the American West, but not in Alaska. Where was that? Well, it's all sand dunes. I think there's sand dunes in Utah, I believe. Look, I've been all over Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, lots of California. I drove all over the West, guys. Sometimes it all kind of runs together in my mind. Colorado. I've been in every state in the West except Minnesota. EMP is only preliminary, probably first happening, then multiple cities will get hit. They'll go for our nuclear weapons first, the Watchman. They will go for they're going to strike anything that can strike them back. Their first target is our nuclear weapons, our strategic forces. Then once they take all that out, they'll hold the cities for ransom. That's what they'll most likely do. So that way they can get concessions out of us. They can get stuff they wouldn't ordinarily get. And, put less, the cities, it's nuking the cities that would create the soot that might give you possibly, maybe, a global winter. Nuking the military bases probably isn't going to do it. You're not getting enough soot in the atmosphere. Nuking the desert or islands like we used to do is not going to put enough soot in the atmosphere. Although we've already done that. We've already basically shot off enough nukes just testing them above ground in the old days to be equivalent to a nuclear war. That's why Putin don't believe in the nuclear winter, and a lot of people here don't either. And if you're not nuking cities, there's no reason to believe it. If you're nuking cities, you really get that much dust in the air? I don't know. Some people don't believe it. Now there's just new studies that's come out claiming a whole bunch of new findings toward nuclear winter. But how heavy was their fingers on the scales when they were writing those reports? Saying, guys, hard to say. Yeah, I'm from the scientific community, but I've produced papers and reports, and when they go through management, they don't say the same thing that the writer said initially. I'm gonna guarantee you that. They always get that spin. Get a spin. Every report going through any organization gets a spin by the people that run the organization. I don't care who it is, where it is. That's just the way people are. Science or no. I've seen it over and over. Now, by and large, you can trust scientific stuff. And the closer it is to the engineering scientists, less management involved, the more accurate it'll be. But, there are some scientists that have biases too, unfortunately. Not supposed to, but there's some, especially if they have a vested interest in whatever they're writing. Taz says, Brian, I'm with you on that. I would love mountains. When Gatto, a Russian oligarch, had a shell company in Panama that stole billions of rubles from the Russian military. He's on the hit list in the Kremlin. I don't doubt that. You get generals in the Kremlin selling stuff. That's one of the reasons that the Russian military is in such sad shape. They reported everything was good. They reported they had all this ammo, but they were out selling stuff, or they might, then this happens in China too. They'll go out and claim they fired 5 rounds, but they really shoot 2 and he sells 3. This kind of stuff happening. The best way to escape America, probably toward the end, would be by sailboat. The knowledge you'd have to have, but then if there is a Poseidon torpedo, sailboat might get washed away. Unless you're way up the sea. Maybe down in the Virgin Islands. Be a bad place to hang out. Except you might get a lot of rescues and Chinese going back and forth from Venezuela and wherever. Iranians. Land of 1,000 lakes. That's Minnesota. One place I haven't gone to. You got a lot of lakes in Alaska. It's also a land of thousands of lakes. My back hurts. Come on. Well, there's a heck of a handle there. I saw an omen today when I stepped outside, a huge groundhog in my yard in town. Never seen one there in over 12 years. My birthday is Groundhog Day. Wow, okay. That's interesting. Interesting birthday. Oh, Don Burge, I'm in Willow. Willow was going to be the state capital of Alaska. Alaska was really interested in moving to Willow because it was more central to the overall Alaska. But in the end, they found out it was going to cost them so much money to move, they nixed the idea. But I had friends when I was in Alaska buying land in Willow because the prices were escalating. They figured that was going to be a great buy. But anybody that did that ultimately lost money, I'm assuming, because the decision to go there was reversed. Let's see, whether it be harvest rapture or fleeing the exodus absent from the body is present with the Lord. There you go, the Watchman. That's perspective. Well, I said in my previous video, get right with your maker. Ryan Keith Prepper. And besides, what I do is my business between me and my Father only. Oh, that's true. Zen Jamin if they get Alaska, what happens to property owners? That's really the point of my video. They could take it on paper. I mean, Biden would probably give it up in a hurry and be happy to give it up just because, hey, one less red state. Country's believing now. We got rid of a red state, 2 less senators. We'll take the Senate. We'll dominate now. Yeah, right. Somehow America probably gets invaded in the end of all that after they gave up tons of concessions. So let's see here. What else? Brian Keefe, he blessed my home so much. Now, not worried about the city part. Okay, Brian. You're the maker there. Yeah, lots of vets here. I'm one. There you go, Don. Well, me too. So, Don, you were in the Army in Alaska and you stayed there. Well, what service were you in, Don? I made a big assumption. A lot of Air Force people in Alaska. You got Elmendorf and Allison Air Force bases there. Cha-cha, saw that UN article discussed, and it was. It just shows them that they're not looking after our interests, people. Not at all. I keep. I missed it. That's a blessing. He will look out for my home. I have faith. Okay. John Burge, no. Sierra Star. I know how you're feeling about that since you live there. Yeah. Watchman, I've witnessed in life. Well, Don, you're in Alaska. You tell me what you think about my assessment that the civilians in Alaska will hold their own. That's what I'm saying. The civilians in Alaska aren't going to be overrun. I don't think. They'll form their own militias, and Alaska will have a better, what's going to happen in Lower 48 is most people are going to perish. You'll get people in Anchorage, they'll be suffering, but overall, Alaska will do better. So many, David Jones, New Days, I agree. There have been so many visions of Chinese invading our country. I live half an hour from Ocean City, Maryland, and I had a recurring dream when I was younger of a tsunami. It could be the Russian Sarbama guys, but if they Sarbama the East Coast, I expect they'll leave the West Coast alone for the Russians, for the Chinese to come in. That would be their preferred approach, would be from the Pacific. Lord knows they got tons of container ships. I did a video once about China's invading and hiding people in container ships. They actually got a lot of people on those container ships. Quite an army. Covered that, how they could do it. North Korea, more than likely, the bird of prey of Isaiah 46:11. Could be. They're bluffing. Maybe, Jason. Maybe. We don't know that for a fact. That's the problem. We're high stake. This is high stake stuff, guys. It's very high stakes. The Watchman, a group of sailboat people could back each other in multiple boats. Okay. The UN and World Economic Forum says hunger is a good thing. Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, disgusting. Even nurse prepper, my biggest worry is that the military bases around us. Oh. All right. Stacy, I would like to contact you. Ask Greg for my email if you want. Okay. Let's stay here. See about that. What Stacy might say. Lady Bell at Green Greg's, the governor of Houston. Houston's got a mayor. Texas has got a governor. Is offering gift cards for weapons in Texas. Really? I like what you see in Austin. Austin's a very liberal city. Gift cards for weapons. Oh my gosh. Texas, give me a break. Really? That's awful. Few days. My great grandmother started having dementia issues, and she'd sit and wring her hands saying, oh my God, how will we feed all the people that are coming? She 1917, she died in 1970. I'm gonna feed all the people that are coming. Wow. It's interesting. Brian Perendi might not have been here. I might have just been reading Brian Keith. I don't see Brian Perendi in here yet. All right. Judy's talking about new days. Katie saying wish dates included too. Okay. Yeah, visions are hard to get that out of. That's why sometimes I give you mile markers for certain some things to go by events. Stacy just had one of those today. That's why I did a video. Oh, you're right, Brian. I agree with this. Should be tried. A lot of them should be. It's time for new Jurassic Park 2.0. They're manipulating the genome. Oh. Dogs are ignorant children. Wolves are the adults. Yeah, I've heard that a few times, Jason. Now, wolves don't bark, but their pups do. Their pups bark. Dogs bark. How much for that piece of permafrost useless land, I ask? Well, there's actually a lot of useful land up there too, guys. Milford Base at North Pole, Alaska. That would be awesome. Air Force Base is the closest thing. Well, further up, you find Fort Wainwright in Fairbanks, Army Base. Austin's the closest. I guess it's close to the North Pole. North Pole, Alaska's on the way toward Fairbanks. Let's see here. Watchman Lady Bell, Jason Smith, dogs are very smart. Okay. Don Patupka, how you doing? It's raining. Get out of California. Yeah, I would second that motion. Smith and Sierra start to get out as soon as possible. Big city, yeah. California, yeah. Kathy Pittman. I like Mr. Magoo as a name for Mr. Potato as well. Mr. Magoo. Here we call him Mr. Magoo. I remember Mr. Magoo. That was a cartoon character when I was young. I had a demo crap troll today. Oh, right. Sad things happen to come in Sri Lanka and China in shambles. Yeah, we're riding in Sri Lanka. China, the demographics of China are stacked against it. China is going to implode eventually. These shutdowns is really doing them a lot of damage because it's really shutting factories down. They're not coming back. A lot of factories, farmers are saying, shoot, I can't do business here, especially the ones that are foreign based. They're pulling their stuff back here in the United States. It's actually cheaper to produce here now than it is in China. The Chinese labor prices went up 16 times. China's got to import all their energy. So when you look at all the imported energy and the labor, we now produce stuff cheaper in America. That's coming. But you have to build all this. Oh, there was Brian Perendi. He only made one comment here. Greg, I have to crash now. Ciao. Dadgummit. I want to open that box for him. Back hurts. I'm glad that I eat like a bird. Okay, my back hurts. About to get you going. Vladivostok was one of my targets. Oh. What did you do, North Shore? You were in the military? Vladivostok was one of your targets. Tell us more, North Shore. Now you got me curious. All right. Yes, yes, sir. I'm not sure, but yeah, you should plan an area away from everyone because if an EMP hit, you will be walking. You definitely should plan. Something is going to be horrible. Yep. 89, Gerald Ford, female VP, foretells what's coming. Well, we just now got our first female VP. VP. 1989. Ronald Reagan was. We got to do with Gerald Ford. He was already gone. Ronald Reagan was president until, yeah, he was still president in 1989. Part of the year. He swore in 1981. He served 8 years. At least in January. They swore in Clinton. Submarine base for Russia to nuke the West Coast. Okay, that's Vladivostok. Yeah, they got a lot of naval stuff there. Eagle Eye Images. There we go. Colorado Jen, how you doing? All right, I only eat chocolate milk. I can't stand the texture of solid food. Wow. which hunter are you, Hunter High? you're not you're not the hunter of the Biden family, are you? Are you? So there's a lot of people that come in with spoof names. I don't know if you're a part of that or not. I hadn't seen some of the spoof names I used to see a lot. We used to get Al Gore in here a lot. We even had Greta Thunberg coming in and visiting. Space Girl, how you doing, Space Girl? All right, trying to get through this. Houston is a nuke magnet. Wouldn't doubt it. Talked about the oil industry. Russia coming down through Alaska with planes is what I saw. Oh, that's what. So you saw Russians invading from Alaska. Yeah, not planes. Ground troops would be harder for them to do that with. Alaska Highway is a rough road. They got them run on good roads. My worms are still alive, and my dogs. Oh, and their dogs. Oh, I was thinking talking about worms I sent you originally. Yeah, I still owe you some worms. Ruger. Jason Smith says Greg, Alaskans don't even want to be ruled by America. That's true. Absolutely. They've talked about secession for a long time. They might just do it. You know, I'd want to join them probably. Yeah, secession's always been a popular topic up there. Well, the main targets will be the military bases, guy. My nug went down with my boat. There you go, Granny. Oh, I lost it in a boating accident. All right, wait a minute. Where'd it go? I just missed something. Just lost it. Somebody. Where'd it go? Something got scrolled all the way to the bottom. I was trying to read a comment. Popped it. Somebody said they lived in Alaska. Gilligan's Island, said Janet Planet. Oh, where did that comment go? Who was it? Wow. Alaska in the house might be Batman. Is that you? Oh, what was that comment at? Wow, I missed that meeting. Not that far. I'm that far behind. Northern Arizona, says Jeffrey. Well, okay. Oh, wow, a ton of comments. I don't know if I'm going to read all these. So, I mean, White Mountains of Arizona. Gosh, I'm going to look back up the top. What happened? All right, Jam, my birthday's tomorrow. Well, good for you. Jeffrey Bowen, Snowflake, Arizona. Jeffrey, I got 40 acres in Snowflake. Really? That's cool. I got property in Snowflake. That's the only property I actually own outright. I got 40 acres in Snowflake, Arizona. If you go back in some of my older videos, I actually did about 3 videos from Arizona, from Snowflake, Arizona, back a couple of years ago. You know what? I think when I hit the scroll button, scroll the bottom, but I was where I was at was much farther. It's just gone. Lost some of those comments. Yeah, it's like it's only showing me so many of it at a time. Somebody else said that White Mountains, Arizona. Somebody else said there was from Arizona, Alaska here. And offering land, bug out free. I only care for myself, but have eggs and veg. You bring the cow, says Melanie. Farmers market for food, says Granny. Hey, I'll be there for Saturday. Happy birthday, Colorado Jen. Happy birthday. Well, maybe I should start scrolling this stuff on my computer. Well, I got a 20. I don't want to lose the point on that. The keeping every day, planting crops are good. Prior Air Force says casual preparedness. Well, good. Casual preparedness. Did you ever serve in Alaska? I want to sit on a mountain top and watch this True Weather. True Weather's having a kind of a tough time, guys. We all need to pray for him, guys. This room is back to being cold shouldered. Oh, the room here, our chat room. I don't know who's been cold shouldered. Am I giving you the cold shoulder? What is that all about? I'm talking to you. Oh, she's gone. She said later. Yes, she felt offended. That's what you mean. Judy says, Halo Melanie lines. So somebody talking to you there. Talking to you. Does anyone have dark nugs? Those one hit thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up, guys. There's 145 rooms. Still only got 133 thumbs up. I think we've lost some people since I went. All right, here we go. Might be Batman, Alaska in the house. We had a couple others. That's very good. All right, might be Batman. Hang on. I'm going to ask everybody that's in here from Alaska in a minute to chime in together when I get down to the bottom here. Oh, Nightman, that's an insult to Mr. Magoo. President Magoo. Oh. Yeah, poor Mr. Magoo. Colorado, I remember Mr. Magoo too. Oh, sad, Lady Bill. Your brother passing away in the house. Ooh, that's sad. Rosen is spelled backwards. C-O-R-F is whatever. Cha-cha frozen. Oh, you're talking about nugs. Got it. I was trying to spell the word frozen backwards. I don't get that out of that. It's talking frozen. My bad. It's getting late. Gotcha. Spelled backwards. Frozen one. Greg, did you ever work at S1 or S2? Because I was going through some of my grandpa's pictures. I thought I saw a younger you. He worked for Skunk Works. No. Nope. I worked for Skunk Works. Might have had a possum works here in Alabama. Yes, in the military, S1 and S2 are battalion level offices. So I would have been in probably more like an S4 if I'd been anything, but no, I wasn't in any of those level offices. I was at the company level. Except when I was Fort Greeley. Just totally different there. Different organization. G.W. Bush after Reagan. That's true, Matterman. Let's see. Taz says, raining. How many nodes do you have? Archery is great. Why did it freeze like that? How it goes up. And I try to pull it back down, and oh, it went all the way to the bottom again. What's that? I'm scrolling just a little bit of time, it pops all the way to the bottom. Oh well, that's where we're at the bottom. We're getting rain. Well, very good, Granny. My back hurts. Night vision we left in Afghanistan is already showing up on eBay. Wow. Yeah, all the druggies I have. She was mugwort tea time. There you go. I moved in with my husband and married him. Very good. Who's this Bobo? What was that, Madam? Somebody saying something. Okay, to the bottom. I'm reading chat and listening too, says Lady Bud. That's what I'm trying to do. Great, I'm sitting on the porch. Pickaxe Prepper. Well, how you doing, Pickaxe Prepper? Good to see you here. Good to see you, Pickaxe. All righty, guys. So we got 150 in the room. All right. All you who are still live in Alaska, there's a few of you in here tonight from Alaska. I lived in Alaska from 1 April 1981 till 23. Well, actually, it's probably 20. I got out of the Army 23 April. It took me a day or two to get out of the state. So 24 April, I was still in Alaska. All right. So of the people in here who's from Alaska, several people say they are in Alaska. Maybe some of you that aren't were in Alaska. So of all you who have been in Alaska, you tell me. I say the civilians will be able to keep the Russian invasion out of Alaska. I won't be able to say that after an EMP grid down. It will still be tough enough and resilient enough to maintain Alaska's independence. They'll probably secede from the Union, but I expect they're going to take some territory, part of Siberia, maybe. But at least they're not going to be run over. All right, so for you Alaskans who's still in here, you tell me, what do you think? Will Alaska be run over? Can Russia take Alaska? I say no. What say you? Just anybody in general. I say Russia cannot take Alaska. After what I've presented here tonight, or any of you that have been in Alaska, what say you? I say Russia cannot do it. I say they take it on paper. It'll be given to them on paper if they do an EMP attack, the first strike on the United States. The United States will pull out of NATO. We'll pull out of Europe. We'll pull away from China. We'll come here to protect, try to mop up, take care of the United States. We probably won't be able to do that. Too many visions of us getting invaded right here. Alaska getting invaded, they might try it. A New Day says she sees the planes coming. Yeah, they might take over military bases. They might stage an invasion coming for the south, or at least a hit. But I don't see how they're going to actually take Alaska. Temporarily occupy some military bases, use that as a jumping off point, but I just don't see it. All right, Martin Electromag says nope. Frozen World says heck no, they can't take Alaska. Granny, I say no, they can't take Alaska. Pickaxe with our current White House. I'm Pickaxe, come in late. Yeah, the White House will give it to them on paper, but what I'm saying is the people in Alaska won't go for it. They'll be an independent nation. People last aren't going to be overrun, I don't believe. There's a man in here. Okay. Lady says, yes, sir, I know it will never goes that way. GG, anything can be overrun. I don't think the Russians will have enough to throw up there. They don't have the rail lines. I don't see them overrun. I think Alaska's going to be tough. Nobody's going to overrun Alaska. Amanda, there she is. I'd be more worried what the corporation will do to their own. Yeah, these corporations don't care about us, Amanda. You got that right. Yep, both right. So Judy says, I don't think they could take Alaska. They would wreck some areas, but not take it. Bingo. Yeah, they would wreck military bases. They might nuke Fort Greely. Maybe Austin and Elmendorf Air Force bases might get nuked. Only on paper. There you go, AG. I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. Might be given to them on paper, but good luck taking it. Too many Americans with nugs there. Yeah, Ray. Say nugs in this channel. Australia already sold to China. Oh my gosh, Amanda. What you want out, Amanda? Does that worry you? It wouldn't surprise me, Amanda. Wow. And New Zealand, we do now as China says. That's scary. Pickaxe, Soviet style creep across the Arctic Circle. Yeah, I don't see them taking Alaska though. They might get the Arctic, but not come up very far on shore. The natives up there hate Russia. They hate Russians. Listen, y'all might remember me interviewing Ed Kiker about a year or two ago. Ed Kiker is a geologist, and we talked about the return of the Ice Age. In fact, the topic was snowball Earth. Well, Earth freeze over. If you look at the temperature trends over time, it looks very plausible that we're just in a glacial might come to an end and Earth could be in trouble. The temperatures have been going up down for millions of years on Earth. Believe it or not, contrary to what some people tell you. And I showed the data on that. Australian news is distinguished Biden like I've never seen in my life. He's a joke in the world. Yeah, no kidding. Deals are done. That's scary. They don't have enough men or equipment yet. Would have to be a consequence of strike against the U.S., says Arnold. Amanda, I'm sweet, just be 10 steps ahead. There you go. Our new leader just hugged all China's. Yeah, I saw that. It looked like China Australia switched there. From AUKUS to China. Greg, speaking of rail line, did you hear about the rumor that the rail line's shutting down? Yeah. They're talking about strikes and the rail lines here. I didn't see Russia taking Alaska, just coming down through the West Coast. Oh, the West Coast. All right, that wouldn't surprise me. Gigi, how is Ed doing? He's not doing well. He's not doing well at all. And I got to go talk to him. Maybe this weekend. Meant to get over there last weekend too. I met Ed in Alaska, Fort Greely, Alaska. And I did that interview with him. What was I talking about, Ed? Oh, yeah. Ed had been a captain of a National Guard unit, an Eskimo scout unit. I swear, there was a unit of Eskimos that were scouts. They were on patrol in Alaska. And they came across a squad of Soviet soldiers in Alaska. They were all dead. The natives slaughtered them. That didn't make news. It happened. Russians sent a little squad of Bobby Spetsnaz troops, or most highly trained special forces in Alaska to see if they could do a little exploratory, what to get away with. The natives took them out. Ed Kiker's Eskimo Scout unit found them. Well, the natives don't want anything to do with Russia. Feel that. Whatever you think of Russia, the natives up there don't like them. All Angels USA. I don't know about that. North, south, east, and west. Okay, man. Lady Bell, Judy Dowles, my hubby is a very light sleeper, so I don't go to bed until around 5 a.m. because he has to work. Okay. We got something and lupus. All right, Lady Bell, we probably should pray for your husband. Gee, Alaskans all have thugs, don't they? Russians need, yeah, nuds. You meant to say nuds, right? Oh, man, they're loaded. They are loaded. China already has an airport in Western Australia. Oh my gosh. She did correct it. No, new days. GG. When you talk to Ed, please give my best. Okay. Green Greg's high. If we get an EMP, there'll be no way we can recover from that. Do you think so? Oh, I don't think so. I think it's like Humpty Dumpty. I don't see how the United States could recover from an MP attack with all those transformers down and 18 months repair them. Most people die off in the meantime, and you got the money to get them with. And once if you could get them coming, you wouldn't have anybody to put them in place, guys. Well, the United States would be wrecked. You're going to impede our country's toast. Toast. You're going back to living like the 1700s, probably because the 1800s had some industry. You may have some old implements left over, but look out. Look at you, Arnold Smurf. Oh, you're talking about the Blue Wrench. Oh, terrible flood in the city. So Pacific and Asia. Yeah, Pacific coast is probably won't get hit. Some kind of invasion. That wouldn't surprise me. How far? But will they cross? Will they? If the Chinese cross the Chinese came into America on the West Coast, would they be able to successfully cross the Rocky Mountains? How about that one, guys? Would they be able to successfully cross the Rocky Mountains? Or would our local boys out west with their nugs cut them short? I think they might take California, probably Oregon, parts of California, parts of Oregon, and Washington State, urban areas. They might be seen as liberators. Shoot, especially getting food when people are starving. But would they get across the mountains? Granny says, no way. Granny, I agree with you. I don't say that. I don't think they could get across the mountains. Judgment of all based in mentally, physically, and emotionally. Oh. Maybe people thinks they would get across. Ringgrass, thank you for your honesty, friend. Thanks. Well, thank you, Bicycle Rider. Bicycle Rider was in my chat with Rex early on, leakproject.com. There's only one way over the Rockies. Yeah, that's through a bunch of guys with nugs. Too many hunters out here. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, the thing is, our hunters got weapons that have longer range than theirs, and that matters. Those guys in the mountains with those rifles they got, yeah, it's gonna be. They'll reach further than the AKs that the Chinese got. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they'll probably die just trying to cross the mountains even without getting shot, because the infrastructure is going to be down. And those guys aren't up to that. You know, look, the Chinese army is made out of little emperors. These are the boys who had were raised as the sole child in the family, and the parents expect them to raise them, so they pampered them. The reality of the situation is not going to go well. Frozen War, 137 out of 142 hit that thumbs up. Yeah, thank you, Frozen War. Why was that not marked? We had 140 in the room, only 130. Well, we've had a lot more in the room. I don't know how much. Guys, help me out, guys. My channel's been getting stepped on by the platform. Just help me out. Give me some more thumbs up. And after I post this video, share it. And guys, leave a comment in the notes after I post a video. Watch it and respond to somebody else with a comment. Most people die trying. Yep. Arnold Smith. I've seen requests where lady. Greg might not have seen it. Be patient. Oh, what did I not see, Arnold? Is this some Lady Bell? Lady Bell, he works in Gainesville. I don't know what I'm talking about. Lady Bell, Green Graves. Yes, sir. Those guys in the mountains will be like snipers. Oh, yeah, exactly. They can hit a target for miles. Exactly. Yeah, I don't see them getting to the mountains. Again, it'd be the civilians that stop them, not our military. Pioneers were prepared. This is why that amendment number 5 is important. If he's going to protect this country and the citizens. Dallas, Greg, hang on. I'll switch accounts. Oh, what for? Oh, I got it. Arnold, 138 is my checking number on another device. Okay, Arnold. Somebody just got to the 139. Very good. Granny Lana says, I don't miss. I know what you're talking about. Very good. There you go. Judy Dowell. Hey, Judy, 145. Thank you. Now we're coming up. Hey, now we finally got more likes than we have people in the room. But guys, we probably had 400 or 500 people come through the room. So 145 likes, it should have been a lot more. Thank you. Nightman, Lady Bill. All right, guys. Let's play for Granny Lana and her granddaughter Kaylee. Anybody else add? People don't say that. Sure, they want to. That's the thing everyone's arm says, Amanda. Man, we need to pray for Amanda. Amanda's in a country where things are not good. Things are going south in Australia. So we should pray that Amanda survives and gets out of there or something. Guerrilla warfare will be our tactics. You got that right. I've had to prove if hunting many times. There you go, Granny. What else should we pray for? We should, like, guys, we're family. This channel, this chat, we're family. I've seen so many of you for years on the, I know when Judy had the bug, cerveza bug, it really nearly did her in. We prayed for her. She did a lot better. We've been praying for Randy Bly, the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. He was told he only had a 20% chance of surviving cancer he had, and guess what? It's gone. He still asks for prayers because he's afraid it might come back. So we got to pray for Randy. We pray for Randy Bly, Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. 145 and 146. So, Judy, you're talented. Bicycle rider Greg. Stacy is a real blessed lady. What a miracle she shared today. No kidding, bicycle rider. No kidding. Y'all got to go back and watch that video with Stacy Savicki. Go back and watch the video post earlier. That was a miracle, guys, and it's a very important message. You got to watch that video. It's even more important than this one. We had the cerveza bug. Oh, Lord, man. Jason Smith, prayers. Anyway, Amanda. Oh, Amanda didn't want a prayer. She says, fight who off, and this plan they well equipped, mate. I have a CT scan on Thursday next week. Oh, Lord. Pray for world peace. Amen to that one. Let's pray we don't have a nuclear war. Let's pray we don't have an EMP. It's looking too likely right now. Sometimes you can pray things away. I was watching then seeing your live. Well, thank you, Granny. Martin Electromag, please pray for me that when I have surgery at the end of this month, that the mass of my kidney be healed by Jesus. Okay, Martin, you got it. We need to pray for Chewy Weather. Chewy Weather's had some health issues, and the person he's living with, apparently, he's leaving. So we need to pray for him. And Top Knot. Oh, what's up with Top Knot? Is Top Knot in the house? What happened to Top Knot? Something happened with Top Knot? Hope he's okay. Pray for us all. Oh, yeah, amen to that. Half you, life's account or fun. I'll follow that. All right, guys. We've already got something on the prayers list. Any other requests? Pray for us all. Pray for world peace. Pray we don't get a nuclear war or an EMP attack or an invasion here, for Pete's sake. Oh, there's Wise Al. A dear friend of mine passed this evening, a long battle of cancer. Most kind of person I ever knew. We'll give her shirt off her back. Okay, Wise Al, let's pray for you. We should pray for this person's family. Hey, guys, Wise Al has worked herself into quite a bit and developed us a new website for our tribes list. As soon as it's live, which should be any time now, I'm going to do a video on that real soon. Tomorrow night, I'm also going to be back with David Pine talking about, he's got intel says that China is going to hit Taiwan in October. He says he thinks it's maybe September, October. Considering the big exercise off Venezuela in August, is it possible we'll get an EMP attack August, September, October? None of the above? I don't know. We live in trying times, guys. Let's pray. Let's pray. Should have to bury their kids before them. That's a rough thing. All right, pray for strength to overcome the grip the evil has on the world. See, Chewy's thinking about other people. He's got some challenges, and he's wanting to pray that we get off the grip of evil. Yeah. I'm sorry if you lost Wise Al. Let's pray for Wise Al and the family of the friend that she lost. Legendary Bunny Man of Bradford, our Army needs more men. Yeah, they're having a hard time recruiting. I think they've only recruited 30 to 40% of their goal this year. They can't get the people in. And furthermore, here's the odd thing: 75% of the young men of age are ineligible to serve. Obesity, due to crime records, just all kind of stuff like that. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Okay, I hope you and granddaughter get better soon. Very nice. It's AG. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's pray. Ashahora Lapis Philosophum. Greetings and blessings. Lapis Philosophum. Hi, Green Grape says, hey, we got people coming in. Yeah, we're about to do our prayer to wrap up, guys. So let's do that. We got the prayer request out here, so let's say a quick prayer for all these people and for the world and world peace. And no nukes. A lot of people pray for them that. Whew. Very good. Well, guys, crazy world. Well, you got it. You'll see the video with Stacey Savicki that was done earlier today. It's 1:26 a.m. here. I don't know if I'm going to post notes for all these videos. I got 2 videos here that need notes posted with them. It takes a while to do that. It might be tomorrow before I get around here to putting these notes in these videos. And tomorrow morning, I got a lot to do though with work. So I don't know, maybe at lunchtime, but I may be running errands. I don't know, guys. If I can keep going, I might put them in tonight. Our military dropped high school diploma requirement. Yeah, they're going all kind of requirements. I'll be the prayer come up and blessings come down. Well, you're right, Frozen. That's what we believe. Guys, parents, God bless you all from the Gulf Coast of Alabama. All right, good place to be. God bring world peace. Amen. Matt, all praying for everybody. Thanks for the prayer, Sister Green Lana. You're welcome. You're welcome. Also bring a friend, Greg. Oh, praying for me also. Okay, thank you. You're praying for Ed. Yeah, Ed Kiker could use some prayers. No kid. He's got epilepsy, real bad, grandma seizures, and he's about to give up a lot of stuff he has. He's having a hard time. Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. Cuban Nurse, Veterinary, thank you all. Legendary Bunnyman and Bradford is all things in the world. Love and hope. There you go. That's it, guys. Taz says Kathy did. Kathy. Me too. Regular fall garden goes starting. Okay, very good. Judy. Fall garden goes in starting tomorrow. Time to start that. Goodbye the next time, says Arnold Smith. All right, guys. Listen, guys, it's a tough world. You know, just as light dispels dark, love dispels hate. What be the love light to the world? Shine your love light in the world, like I've said so many times. And with that, I'm going to say thank you all for